Hey guys, and welcome back to FPL TV's Point Predictor, the series where I predict 5 FPL players that I believe are guaranteed to score 4 points or more in the upcoming Fantasy Premier League game week. However, to keep things interesting, I've got to include one defensive option, as well as one midfield and one forward option who are both valued below the price of 8 million. Also, I can only select one player per team. If you're enjoying the series, then please let me know by hitting the like button, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for weekly FPL videos. As always, before we go ahead and check out Game Week 12's predictions, let's take a very quick look back at Game Week 11 and see if I was able to make any correct selections. So for a second week running, that's again 2 out of 5 correct predictions. Not spectacular, but after Kane, Sane and Abraham all let me down on Saturday, I was relieved for my other 2 choices to return points on the Sunday. Harry Kane once again let us all down in a seemingly easy fixture, and the lottery of Man City midfielders was once again in full flow. Meanwhile, Azpilicueta again shone as the outstanding Chelsea defensive option, and Richarlison of Watford continues to be excellent value for money, returning points against a struggling Everton. So with Game Week 11 wrapped up, and the agonising international break almost coming to an end, let's move swiftly on, welcome back the FPL, and start making some predictions for Game Week 12. Warning, the player selections you're about to see may flop miserably. FPL TV cannot be held responsible for any of your own transfer shockers. Please, FPL responsibly. For my defensive option this week, I'm selecting Antonio Valencia of Man United. United are currently in a bad patch of form, only winning 1 of their last 4 games, but this comes after a very difficult run of fixtures, including Liverpool, Tottenham and Chelsea. Despite this poor run, they still boast the league's best defence, only conceding 5 goals all season, and they now face Newcastle, who are also going through a bad spell themselves. Newcastle are without a goal in their last 2 outings, and have failed to score in 3 of their 5 away trips this season. With only 10 goals to their name so far, they're also towards the bottom of the scoring charts, so the numbers suggest a clean sheet is quite likely here for Manchester United. For the budget midfield option, I'm refusing to budge for a 3rd straight game week and once again selecting Watford's Richarlison. The talented Brazilian has looked to be the real deal in the opening months of the season, and for my point predictor, he seems to remain the safest bet for this category, returning 5 points or more in 5 of the last 6 game weeks. During those 6 game weeks, he's returned an impressive 3 goals and 3 assists, and to be fair, he could have had more if he wasn't so wasteful recently. It's difficult to know how his opponents West Ham are going to respond to the appointment of David Moyes as their manager. Perhaps he'll get them organised defensively, but the numbers don't lie, and West Ham have conceded 10 goals in their last 4 games and 23 overall, the worst defensive record in the league, so Richarlison could be in for a few more points this weekend. For my any-priced midfielder, initially I fancied Chelsea's Eden Hazard here. He's a man in form and facing a struggling West Brom. But with question marks over his fitness for Game Week 12, I don't want to be taking any risks. Therefore, I've opted in the end for the second best option, Mohamed Salah. Following Egypt's qualification to the World Cup, this meant a nice rest for Salah during the international break. His national team did play on the weekend, but he didn't feature, which means he's received a well overdue rest following a very busy opening season for the Egyptian. It also means he'll be fit and fresh to play Southampton in Game Week 12, and he'll hope to continue his fine goal scoring form following 2 excellently taken goals against West Ham 2 weeks ago. I always feel that Southampton have the chance to be a potential banana skin for Liverpool, but the Saints have only kept 1 clean sheet in 6 games, and Liverpool's home record still remains pretty decent. For my budget striker option, I'm going to stir things up and select Brighton's Glen. At the ripe old age of 34, the experienced forward has now bagged 4 goals in his last 3 outings. You could say I'm jumping on the bandwagon with this one, but it's difficult not to, considering Brighton's impressive run of form and considering the fact that they play Stoke at home next, a very nice looking fixture on paper. Stoke boasts the league's 2nd worst defence, conceding 22 goals so far, and with Glen also being on penalty duties, that only strengthens his cause this game week. Since being thrown back into the starting 11 over the last 4 game weeks, his underlying stats look good too, so hopefully my choice here can pay off. A possible differential for FPL managers with just over 2% ownership. For the any-priced forward, despite his extremely disappointing failings last week, I'm going to stick by Tottenham's Harry Kane for a 2nd consecutive game week. Partly, I'm just playing the odds here. I mean, let's put it this way, if FPL's most expensive player doesn't score last week, well surely that increases his chances of getting on the score sheet on this occasion. There are some good underlying stats to justify this choice too though. Firstly, Harry Kane loves the London derby. He now boasts a whopping 21 goals in 29 top flight London derbies, and also has a very impressive record against Arsenal in particular. He's been past fit for the game and had a nice 2-week rest from the international break, so I fancy him to return some points in Game Week 12. He's scored 4 braces so far this season, and 3 of those have come away from home, so this also bodes well for those FPL managers who are sticking by Harry Kane for this game week. And that completes my point predictor picks for Game Week 12. Hopefully we can go at least one better than last week's efforts and secure at least 3 out of 5 correct predictions. As always, be sure to get involved with your own predictions in the comments below, and also stay tuned to future episodes of the Point Predictor, where I'll soon be introducing a new and interactive way for you guys to take part as well, where there'll be a chance for you to play and win some cool prizes along the way. As always, if you enjoyed the video today, then be sure to support FPL TV by hitting subscribe and maybe leaving a like. You can also hit the small notification bell if you want to be notified of any new videos I release throughout the season. Thank you so much for watching this video, and remember folks, FPL responsibly.